What's going on, Virgo? We're going to go ahead and jump straight into your May 2023 bonus reading. Bonus reading here. And we're going to see if there's any additional information, messages that want to come through. Basically, it's just a bonus reading, so I'm pretty sure y'all know what that means. Remember going to the arcade and getting a bonus ball? What the fuck? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Let's jump in. Let's see what we got, Virgo. What y'all doing? Y'all about to go party, Virgo? Oh shit! All right, let's see. We're gonna take a look at your career and your goals and your ambitions here in the first row. Competition, huh, Virgo? Tension. All right, let's go. Let's take a look at your relationships. Some of y'all are bored in y'all's relationships. Interesting. I got some interesting messages here for you, Virgo. I'm gonna keep pulling all these cards, but yo, I ain't gonna lie. Some of y'all have like fixed placements, and I want to say Taurus, but it could be like any fixed placement because I kind of feel like you in this stubborn energy, Virgo. Let's keep going though. Let's keep going. Virgo's like, I'm not stubborn. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, this last row, we're gonna take a look at messages from your guides. Let's see. Sun card, Three of Wands, Knight of Pentacles. Interesting. You have this Gemini card. You also have this, the farther gate, bold step forward. Yeah, I know what this is. Yeah, I know what this is saying. Flexibility. I knew it. And you have this challenges, achievements in mountain. It says mountain here. Interesting. You know, I'm getting like a lot of like disagreements that you're having, right? And I'm gonna say this too, like just hear me out for a moment. Like there's disagreements and there's tension in regards to, especially in this first row. Five of Wands, Six of Swords, Queen of Swords. I feel like there's disagreements and there's tension within inside yourself, and this could also be going around. This could also be going on in your relationships, in your career field or whatever it is that you do for work. Because the Five of Wands, Six of Swords is usually when you're trying to get out of an energy of tension, right? I don't know why my footage is. Oh my god. But with the Five of Wands, it's like when if it deals with people, then it's when we're having a clash with people. Like there's a clash of egos, clash of personalities. And if this is within inside yourself, it feels like just tension, frustration, anger. You want to make progress. You want to move forward, right, with the Six of Swords. But you're having to figure out new ways to do so. And you're being pushed to creatively expand here. And the Queen of Swords is like you're trying to understand what you need to do in order for you to resolve this, right? Whether this is something internally or whether this is going on in your environment externally, right? But I feel like you do know your truth. I feel like you do know what it is that you're trying to do, which is good. Which is why the Gemini card here is here, right? Because Gemini deals with inventive conversation. It's where we're having either a conversation with ourselves or others, but it deals with the way we think, what we're thinking, and Gemini is a sign of like being inventive. Some of you may have Gemini in your chart, but Gemini is a sign of like inventiveness, right? How we can put ideas together. We're trying to figure out new things, right? Intellectually, right? And just to keep it simple, you know, not too woo-woo, right? But Six of Swords usually like is what the Five of Wands usually like when we're trying to figure out a newer way to solve a problem, right? But I do feel like it's important, though. I will say this: I think it's important, like to be open on both sides. Like if there's like an agreement or a dispute in regards to like things that are going on in regards to work or career, or even things that you may be even thinking about that you want to say something about. I think it's important for you to say it rather than keeping it in. And I feel like don't come from like a place of ego to where it's like, you know, you get in your own way here. I think there's a middle ground that can be met, I think you can meet in the middle here, Virgo. But I do think it comes from a place of being honest, though. I'm not saying that you're not being honest. That's not what I'm saying. Y'all get what I'm saying. All right, let's take a look at your relationships. 4 cups, the Emperor, and you have the 5 of Pentacles. Now, this is where I feel like the stubbornness is kind of coming in here. And it's not necessarily that you're being stubborn in like a negative way. It's like there's stagnancy that's going on. And a lot of you may even be emotionally unavailable to relationships at this time. I feel like you're wanting to focus on yourself. The Emperor is very self-determined, self-independent, doesn't really need anything outside of himself. Kind of just, solo, dolo, lone wolf type of vibe, right? And I also got a message here for the ones that are in partnerships dealing with relationships. Give me a moment. But I would say here, though, it's like, there's some things you could like, there's some things here to where it's just like, I kind of feel like you're just not really interested in relationships if you're single, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like you could even be coming out of one with the 5 of Pentacles and you're in a transition, or you just really haven't found something that sort of meets the criteria of like what it is that you're looking for. And others of you, if you're dealing with a partnership, I feel like you could be feeling like ignored by somebody here, really feeling like you're not getting the attention that you want in regards to a certain partnership, right? Or a relationship. When I read this row, it does deal with all relationships, right? So, and the 5 of Pentacles is one of those cards towards like we feel abandoned in a way, or we feel like we're just not getting something back, right? We almost feel like, like emotionally our needs aren't being met, or our needs just in general aren't being met. And which is why I feel like you're in this Emperor archetype, which is in the heart of the spread, by the way. So I feel like this has like really been your energy lately, Virgo. It's like this Emperor type of energy. It's very masculine type of energy. And to where it's just like, I just feel like you really focus on yourself, if I'm just put it point blank. And with the Emperor here, it's almost as if I ain't gonna lie, Virgo, kind of feels like you're a little bit cold, a little bit coy here, maybe too coy. I think, I don't know if it's for good reason or not, but yeah, we'll clarify that, of course. All right, let's keep going. You got the Sun card, the 3 of Wands, and you have the Knight of Pentacles here, the message here from your higher self. Or not your higher self. Well, I guess you could say higher self, but in regards to your guides here, some of you, I see you slipping into this pessimistic attitude, Virgo. I got to be honest with you. I know you deal with the intellect, right? Practical intellect, which is why people think you're picky or naggy or too cynical, That's not necessarily true. It's just like, you have a knack and attention to detail, and you can see where things need to be improved. And if they're not improving, then it bothers you. But I really do feel like the universe is like wanting you to not fall too much into too much criticism, whether that's toward yourself or toward other people, right? We're all human. We all do it, right? Sun card, 3 of Wands. This is what the tarot is all about. It's here to illuminate things, right? It's here to show you that you're human and that we all deal with these archetypes. It's the human experience. But I feel like your guides want you to focus on the positive here as much as you can, especially because it's like you may be feeling like you're not making progress in your life, or you may be feeling like the stagnant energy, or just like, this vibe of like what's next. And it's important to realize like you're in a process here, and if the best thing that you can do at this time with the Sun card is focus on positivity, right? Be patient with the Knight of Pentacles and enjoy the journey. I know you hear it all the time, enjoy the journey, but it's true. Like, how many times have you achieved something quickly and then you kind of lost interest in the achievement and then you're bored? You get what I'm saying? So it really is about the journey of things. So interesting, which is why this flexibility card is here too. It's like what I was getting earlier. It's like I'm getting like a very rigid, sort of like stuck in the mud type of energy, and I really want to say it's like, I'm not really trying to call y'all out, Virgo, because I'm trying to help, but it really does feel like attitude. Like some of y'all got a bad attitude. But the flexibility card is telling you, I think it's important to stay open, to stay flexible, right? To, don't close yourself off. Don't let your ego get in the way. Don't deal with people who have strong egos that get in the way of things. But I think it's important for you to stay flexible You do have this challenges, achievements, and mountains. You will be successful. You will accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. I see here that it's been frustrating though. You have the Five of Wands with the Six of Swords. It's been frustrating. You're having to be creative, inventive, to figure out solutions. And there could be a lot of people problems going on. I don't think it's personal problems. I think it's like, you ever have just like an argument with a coworker, or like, I don't know, maybe your boss is pissing you off. I don't know what the case might be. You know what I'm saying? But or maybe you got trolls if you're if you're on social media, right? So I think you'll be able to achieve what you want to achieve. I just think it's keeping a positive mindset and attitude. I ain't calling y'all out, Virgo. Maybe I am. It's my job. Unless y'all want a dishonest reading. Unless you want me to tell you that every time I do a reading that everything's going to be sunshine, Skittles, rainbows, and gumdrops. And the weather is always going to be 70 degrees and sunny. But that's just not reality all the time. All right. I think that's one thing that's missing from the spiritual community is like sometimes it's too like toxic positivity. Like only high vibe. We can only be in high vibrations. Which is like bullshit. Anyways, let's do it. King of Cups, Five of Wands. I just feel like you're frustrated emotionally. Also as well, it's like, you ever like be in that energy when you're just like trying to help people, but people get all triggered and pissed off? That's kind of like the vibe I'm getting here. And you're just like, damn, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to help. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting. Queen of Cups and the Six of Swords. Interesting. This could be with a person for sure. Moon card here. I think it's very important for you to speak the truth. I think it's very important to speak your truth. If there's something that's on your mind, I feel like it needs to be said here. If there's tension between you and a person, I feel like just, an adult conversation could help. A lot of people here. Interesting. You know what's interesting? Some of you may I'm kind of getting like a trigger energy. Like some of you may trigger people. It almost reminds me of like when you have Pluto in the first house, and for whatever reason, people just are triggered by you. Like there's probably some people watching me right now. They're triggered by this reading because I have Pluto in the first. I'm not saying that you have that aspect or that placement, but that's what it feels like. It feels like when you're you tend to reflect to people their shadows, and they don't like it, basically. Let's see. Five of Swords, Five of Cups here. Yeah, I think some of y'all are just like done with relationships. I'm not saying you're just totally giving up, but I honestly pick up like you're like, you know what? Like I'm just closing off for now because I don't want to deal with people. I don't want to, and that's what I'm kind of getting here. Some of you could be dealing with arguments in your relationships, and you're just kind of like, you know what? Whatever. King of Wands, Knight of Wands, or King of Wands and the Emperor. Five of Pentacles, double card. I see you moving away from a lot of toxic relationships, which is the positive thing that I'm seeing here in this row. I feel like you're not allowing yourself to go back to positive ways of things in your relationships, which is why you may be feeling like the need to put up boundaries and close off. But also I get here as well, don't be too rigid, Virgo. I know Virgos get the ick pretty quick. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I would be aware of that. I think you need to be honest with yourself about that. Seven of Cups and the Sun card here. The Magician, Three of Wands, and you got the Justice card, Knight of Pentacles here. Yeah, I feel like your guides are wanting you to be very smart with, like, because the Justice card, Knight of Pentacles, is like being very smart with your decision making, and which Virgos are pretty much. Everything that you guys do is based on a very practical intellect. So I feel like it's wanting you to be cautious, but not like in like a fear way, but just understand that you need to be smart with like some of the moves that you make here, some of the things that you do. I feel like your guides want you to know too, Three of Wands, the Magician, you're in total control of your reality. It's up to you to use your willpower to harness that to keep moving forward here. And yes, you can achieve and you can manifest the things that you want, but it is going to take effort, and that's what the Magician is. And the Sun card with the Seven of Cups is like to have fun and do things that actually bring you stimulation and enjoyment. It's interesting how we can do the same things over and 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 over in our routines, to the point it's like we're just like a robot at that point, right? We're just going through the motions, right? And then our creativity gets stifled. Once creativity gets stifled, if you don't have creativity, you're not going to feel any type of pleasure. And if you can't feel pleasure, you're not going to feel any type of joy. So I think it's like you're having to, so I think the message from your guides is to bring back the enjoyment and see the positive in things again. So yeah, that's what I got for you, Virgo. Oh, I forgot to touch base on this card. This card's a 55. Fives in numerology represent intention, represent creativity as well. It's like when you're forced to be creative, right? It's like creativity that's trying to come through, but it's blocked and there's tension and all that type of stuff, right? But this card says the farther gate, says bold step forward. I think you need, this is almost like a fear here that you're having to conquer and face. You know, like you ever, like, let's just say for instance, like, you know, like when you're like in a process of evolving, and I don't know, let's just say you want to be the best cook ever, or let's just say you want to start a cooking channel, right? Just an example. And you're like, you know, I don't know if I'm ready. It's going to require this, it's going to require that. You got to be bold. Fortune favors the bold. And that's true. Anyways, so that's what I got for you, Virgo. If you want to book a personal reading with me and you want to get more in depth in regards to your own personal life, you can book a personal reading with me down below in the description. If you like the video, be sure to hit that thumbs up button if the video resonated with you. And follow me on Instagram if you haven't yet. Subscribe. And that's it. I never know how to really end these videos, but otherwise than that, I'll see y'all later.